Good afternoon. This is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com and welcome. I'm reviewing the play of the day from Friday. This was on Friday, June 21st. It was Orcl. Interestingly enough, when I really wanted this Orcl to work out, when I saw the earnings were coming out Thursday night and watched it then, and I thought, geez, this is going to have to take some time here because of the fact that it was a big gap down and it fell into itself 2 days prior, and with the market falling, it was anybody's guess where this is going to set up. As it turns out, though, when I watched it, it confirmed immediately in the open that it was weak and that it was going to hold, and actually ended up being a perfect gap for the day. And whether you played it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, as long as you have the stop at the right place with this, it paid you in any trade that you did in Friday. This is one of these unusual examples where the gap itself ends up being so nice that every play in it sets up and works. Now, of course, you have to know where to take the play, where to enter it, where to put the stop. But if you have the stop in the right place in every place in the Orcl that you did a new trade on Friday, you got paid. So I'm going to be watching this Monday morning, actually. I'm going to be watching this for continuation gap here. Here's the target on Monday. 2876-ish. 2891. Well, that's where it went on Friday. So that is where it got down into on Friday, right 2 pennies under 30. So this is what I'm going to look at for Monday. And this should follow through for sure. Really, I played this back the last time it had the earnings here in March. And it was a nice trade and followed through. And didn't get to the target the first day of that day anyways. This did not get to the full on target on Friday, although it was a really, really nice trade. So again, this is one of these unusual gaps where whether you took it on the 1 minute, the 2, the 5, the 15, no matter what time frame you played it, every setup in this was really nice. Now, many people look at this 5 minute and they say, oh, that kind of looks crappy. Why? Because of the fact that it dropped in here, didn't break hard under the low, came down and only broke it by a penny, but this still counts. This is still a break. It's not a double bottom. And I did have conviction it would break 30. I just didn't want to trade the afternoon. So I didn't do an afternoon trade on this. I just traded this in the morning and was done. I did call a second trade on this in the trading room. I think a bunch of my traders did do this and follow it through in the afternoon. If you had patience to do that, you got paid, but you would have had to stay in the trade until the close. There's some days I'll hold something down and trade it into the close, but that's very rare for me. I like to do the move in the morning, and this actually had 2 quick moves in the morning. Down hard, out, rally up, down, take it, drop. And the break in here, I was expecting it to break bigger. I really was expecting it to break bigger and crush through 30 into this 10 o'clock period. It didn't do it. But it gave 2 nice trades in the morning, and that was it for me. I didn't want to do anything in the afternoon in this one. But if you did do it, you actually got paid. And even though this rally looks like the stock is over, and the interesting thing was at the time I was watching this, I saw what the market was doing. The market was bleeding, and this was not bleeding. The market was lower at this time, and Orcl rallied, but I knew it would at least retest the low of the day. I knew it would at least retest the low of the day, that taking a new trade in here into the afternoon would not be a failure. I knew it wasn't going to go green on the day. I knew Orcl would stay red on the day. I knew it was a good gap. But if you take this trade, you have to take it knowing that the target may be halfway retracement or down to the low. Why? Because this was a big move for the stock. And it fell immediately. And when it fell immediately, it proved that it was weak, but it was exhausted. And that's really the only reason why this didn't break on through bigger on Friday. And despite that, though, if you had conviction, took the trade at the right place, put the stop at the right place, even for the afternoon trade, you got paid. And not only that, you could have done 2 ads. Look at this. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You could have done 3 ads. First trade, an ad, 2, 3. 3 ads this had. This is too late to add down in here. But you could have lowered the stop, actually. Right in here, I'm looking at this. So it did break 30, but only by 2 pennies, simply because of the fact that it ran out of time. And pre-market in the morning in this on Friday when I was watching it, I said there's going to be 5 million people in this before the open. I was close. It was like 4.5 4.3 or 4.6 or something like that was in this in the morning, you know, early, before the open on Friday. This worked irregardless of the market. This would have worked if the market was strong, if the market was weak, if the market was anything neutral, it wouldn't have mattered. Orcl would have worked because the gap was solid and intact and good, just whatever the market did. It just didn't have as big of a move as I wanted it to on Friday in the morning, simply because of the fact that the stock was a little bit tired. So I'm looking for this to back up on itself a little bit on Monday and then take it for a bigger short down on Monday, because this will continue. In fact, this held so nicely, so weakly, despite all of this and the people in it. It gives you a sign of conviction that the stock is really, you know, over for this thing. It's just really over for this thing, because they held this thing down into the beginning of the day. I mean, the high of the day on this was set at 9:30, I think. Let me look. Yeah, I think it was. And that's how I knew that it was just crazy weak. And I haven't expected this to flip, and it didn't do it. Pretty sure it was 9:30. It's been the first 5 minutes. I know that it. Yeah, 9:30, 9:30. Well, 9:31. 9:31. So 9:31, this set the high of the day. And what does that tell me? That tells me that the stock is very weak. Typically, when there's a lot of volume in something in the morning pre-market, people want to take some profits out. Why? Because they could be shorting this from the overnight into the morning. That's what this was here. In fact, I remember watching this trade, this bar. I said I never saw anything like it. I never saw anything like this in a 1 minute bar, this much volume. The actual volume that came into the stock in the 60 seconds was over 13 million. So I had been watching it in the morning. It was like close to 5 right before this. All of this. Okay, this is all going on here right before in the morning. I never saw in my life a 1 minute bar get thrown so much volume that it shaped itself like this. So you see this right here. You see it to the little square box up there on the left. Okay. So I've seen volume come into stocks in swooshes. All right. But I've actually never seen 13 million in a 1 minute bar in a swoosh. Never seen that in a swoosh. I'm sure someday I will. But if I ever see 13 million again in a bar in a 1 minute, it won't look like this. This is extremely unusual. In fact, it's almost something that it doesn't even make any sense. That something could form itself looking like this. That something could form itself at a bottoming tail with a green head with this much volume actually signifies the weakness, and I'm looking at it. Because for people to take out of that, to exit out of that many people, for the bar to form itself like that, not to be solid green or solid red. I've never seen anything like it. I may never see anything like this again. I remember in the moment when I was watching this to get in, when I saw it, commenting on it in the room, that I never saw anything like that in my life. Because when you were watching it trade, it was unbelievably fast. And the volume came in so huge, so quickly. So this is 60 seconds. It's over 13 million. And it's a very unusual shape for something to look like that with that much size and volume. Really something. So this is weak. This is going to continue Monday. I'm definitely going to watch this on Monday for a continuation gap. It's got to set up right. It's got to set up clean. You really can't be aggressive at continuation gaps the next day unless they set up exactly right according to the numbers. But this very well may do it. I mean, this very well may do it because this performed so nicely on Friday. And it didn't really matter when you took it. You could have taken it any time all day in the correct trade with the correct stop and you got paid on it. And so I'll be looking for this on Monday. This is Orcl. My name is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. If you'd like more information on learning how to find these gaps and pick these gaps and play these gaps, then feel free to email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Thanks and have a great day.